So I put you in my log line 5 and 9. Let me see if my friend in New York is copying you. Go ahead, Doc, are you copying the guy from Washington?
QRZ is the frequency in use, is the frequency in use. QRZ is the frequency in use. QRZ is the frequency in use, is the frequency in use, please. QRZ is the frequency in use. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. CQ, CQ, CQ calling CQ, calling CQ. This is November 9, Delta Delta. November 9, Delta Delta calling CQ and listening. CQ calling.
November.
Again, the station ending November.
Kilo 5, Romeo, Victor, November, copy.
Kilowatt 5, Radio Victor Norway. Good evening, Mark. Name here is Mike, Mexico, India. Kilowatt Echo Mike, and we're located just south of downtown Atlanta in Stockbridge, Georgia, and just sitting down playing radio for a little bit. Kilowatt 5, Radio Victor Norway. I'll give you a reading on the over. This is November 9, Delta Delta.
Yes, sir. Obviously, we worked before you've got my name. I think we worked last week sometime a little bit. And you're about 5 by 556, and we're located near Albuquerque, which you probably know. Over.
Yep, we got you just outside of Albuquerque in that little tiny town. I don't know how little it was. I used to drive through there on my way back to the Midwest when I was driving. It seems like when I moved out there, about every 6 months I went back to Wisconsin and helped somebody else move out there, and then that was back in the 90s. So I've been through New Mexico quite a bit, lived there for about 6 months one summer, so a lot of fun. But yeah, you're about a 5.9, good 5.9 here into Atlanta, and very good signal. Yeah, we worked, it looks like, on October 3rd, so 2 weeks ago today on same thing, 20 meters. So welcome back to the band, and it's good to chat with you again. We're still running the Flex Radio 6600 G5RV. Looked over to see if I had the amp on about 300 to 400 watts right now. Over.
Yeah, that's about what we're doing down here. And you were up to an S8 that time. Sounds good. You got a nice sounding station down there. But I've been rearranging the shack. I'm just trying the equipment out to make sure maybe I did everything right. Over.
Oh, that's always a tricky part there, is rearranging. I did the same thing last weekend, and I still don't have it put together. I got it so the radios work, but man, what a mess. I about every couple of years, every year anyway, for sure, every couple for sure, maybe probably every year, I usually go through and pull out all the cabling in my shack, just because you end up with this big ugly mess of cables down running along the floor behind the bench. So I go in and clean it up and take out the ones that I don't use anymore because I replaced them or did something. And, you know, I'm in the middle of that process now. So I got a lot of cleaning to do there in the shack to get it looking good again. It doesn't look like the picture on my QRZ page. It still looks the same physically, but there's junk everywhere. Over.
Got quite a collection. A friend of mine passed a couple months ago now, and I've been inheriting a bunch of the stuff he had in his shack. His roommate doesn't want it there, so I acquired a Dentron amplifier yesterday. I think it goes to 1 kW, I'm not sure, but I don't have the power cord. The plug for the 240 doesn't match the receptacle I have been using. So it's a trip to the hardware for the correct power plug. And after that, I don't know. The thing's got 572 Bravos in it. capable of about 2 kilowatts, over.
Well, that'd be good. That's a good thing to find and inherit. So, trying to turn down my iPad. It's making noise there. No, that's a good thing to inherit. I'm not overly familiar with the Dentron amp, but I did he used to use their tuners way back in the day and stuff. So I know they make some good equipment. So hopefully you can keep that thing running or get that thing running, and it'd be a nice little amp for you. Over.
Yeah, I believe it would. The guy I got it from said he recapped it, put all new caps in it, said the tubes are good. And then he set it in the corner and didn't use it for several years. And then when my buddy passed away, the guy that's taking care of all that, he says, "You want this dirty old amplifier?" And I got some of the stuff you use on automotive dashboards. It's called Shine. And I shined that thing up. You can barely tell it from a new one today.
Yeah, no, those old things, and I said little old amp, it's probably a big old amp. Back in the day, they didn't make those things too small. But no, I kind of like the old ones. I run solid state mostly because of, I guess just to me it's safer, and I'm safer, I guess, safer on the tubes. The amplifier is protected from me. I probably get too impatient, and I want a amplifier now, so I want the instant on, I guess, so that's why I go with the solid state. But the few old tube amps I had, once you wait your 3 minutes or whatever the wait time is on each amp, they'll do a good job, and I think they make good, nice sound, and probably a little cleaner than some of the solid state, but the solid state gives you what you want right now.
Yeah, copy on that. Yeah, I'm talking to you on an ICOM 756 with a little solid state, about a 400 watt amp behind it. Power supply sure doesn't like it. It's pushing 40 amps on peaks there, so I guess the power supply will just have to deal with it, over.
Well, that's a good thing. Hopefully you can work that out. But sorry, I just had somebody text me a message, so I was reading my phone. But now we're done with that, so back to paying attention. But no, how's the weather out in New Mexico? Is it starting to finally cool off? I know my dad, he lives out there in Phoenix, and he just went up to Washington for a couple of weeks to visit some family, so he's not there right now. But I know when he left, he was complaining it was still running pretty close to 100 every day. He's over just south of Phoenix.
Yeah, copy that. Yeah, I lived in Tucson for about 6 months, and I didn't much care for it. But yeah, it is cooling off a little bit. We were 33 degrees yesterday morning, and then about 42 or so this morning. But haven't built any wood fires yet, but I expect it's right around the corner. I pretty much heat with wood. Got a little space heater's propane to back up, like in the shower. Go in there and turn that thing on for about 15 minutes, and that room's nice and warm, copy.
Roger that. So you're in Moriarty. Is that north of Albuquerque up towards Santa Fe and up maybe even farther than that?
No, sir. It's due east of Santa Fe on Interstate 40. And I'm about probably 10 miles south of there, actually. I'm out in the High Chaparral Desert. No neighbors to speak of, and nice and quiet out here.
I'm surprised it's that cold already. I guess you're in the high desert. I lived in Flagstaff, and I guess this time of year the temperature's probably getting down into that range at night, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I guess it's just been too long since I've been there and done it, so sometimes you don't remember exactly what that looked like or felt like. But no, and when I lived in Flagstaff, I saw it snow every month of the year, except for August. I don't think I ever saw snow in August, but I got them in July once. Just a little bit of snowflakes. It didn't stick that day, but I think every other month I've seen it stick. Just July and August, it's never stick, and in August I never saw it. But I love out there in Flagstaff. I think that's probably where we'll go when we get ready to retire, is back to the Flagstaff, Sedona area. Over.
Yeah, copy that. Well, I lived at 11,000 feet up in the Rockies in central Colorado, Summit County, and they didn't call it Summit for no reason. And I just finally gave it up and left. It was like 8 months of winter, a month of spring, a month of fall, and 2 months of summer, and the rest of it was just hardcore winter time.
Huh, yeah, that'd be tough. I mean, Flagstaff, I guess it's 7,000 feet, 7,200, I think, right there in town. And, you know, it's nice. You know, I always liked it, I guess, because in the summer, you know, I don't know that it ever broke it. It probably broke 100 once or twice, but when I lived there, and I was there for 10 years. You know, but, you know, the average high is in the 90 to 95 range. Well, the extreme highs are in the 90 to 95 range. You know, I would say the average in the summers are around 80, you know, and cold winter day, you know, you'll get down below zero in the winter sometimes, but average is 30 to 40 degrees. So to me, it's one of the more beautiful climates in the Southwest, because you got the beautiful mountains right there to the north and the San Francisco peaks. You've got the desert and that just to the south, and lots of trees and pines right there in town. I just loved it, and to say nothing of, you could be to the beach over in LA if you wanted to fly in a couple hours. If you wanted to drive about 8 hours to Vegas and over there in Albuquerque, I just loved it there. A lot to do. I get a little homesick just talking about it. Over.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, I've been through Flagstaff a number of times. Had some friends there and stayed a few weeks. I think it was like in the springtime, and it was still getting pretty chilly. But in the afternoons, it was really nice. And I think even in July and August, they hardly ever see above 100 over there. That's about the way it is here. We might see 1 or 2 days here about 100. I'm about 6,400 feet above sea level here. That keeps the real scorching temperatures off. Of course, it can get down below zero in the wintertime. Several nights out of the year, we'll get down 5 or maybe even 10 below in normal conditions. We did have an Arctic chill come by about 8, 9 years ago, and it was at the airport. It was 40 below zero, and they said that was the coldest temperature in the northern hemisphere. That was in February, probably early February, about 7, 8, 9 years ago. Copy.
Ooh, that's cold. I originally got licensed and grew up in Wisconsin. That's where I got the 9-land call. And yeah, I remember some bitter minus 20s and 30s that just make you want to shake your head. And that's part of the reason I'm down here now is one day I had lived in Arizona for quite a while, so I was kind of soft by this time. But I took a job back in Chicago, so I moved to Chicago, and I got to throw the cat out of here in a minute. I moved back to Chicago, and one day I was standing on the L platform, and I had been there about 6 years, I think, and it was 20 below zero, and I said, skip this. I said, I'm looking for a transfer today, so I went and started looking for a transfer and started my migration south. Over.
No, I don't blame you at all. I went to boot camp up there north of Chicago. They called it Great Lakes. I went in there on Thanksgiving, and it was a rainy day, just really miserable. And the rain turned to snow, and I never saw the ground again all winter long, Cubby.
Yeah, I grew up probably about 20 miles north of Great Lakes, 30 miles north of Great Lakes in Racine, just south of Milwaukee, about a little more than halfway between Milwaukee and Chicago, but 30 miles south of Chicago or south of Milwaukee and Racine is where I grew up. So know all about Great Lakes, know right where it's at, and yeah, that's pretty much a Wisconsin winter. It snows in October, November, and you never see the ground again until March or April.
Yeah, that's what happened that time, and I was glad to get out of there. But yeah, I did 5 years in the Navy. Sailed on a submarine very briefly. I did one tour, and I said, not for me. You can keep the submarine service. I'll just put me on a big surface ship where I can jump overboard if something really bad goes wrong, and I'll be happy with that, Copy.
Yep, K5RVN and a 9DD for ID. Yeah, no, that should have been long enough to give you your submariner badge or your pin or whatever they call it, though. Over.
No, actually, it was a training cruise to see how well we would adapt, and I did not adapt to being in that thing.
Oh, I know I couldn't do it. I wouldn't have had to get on the cruise to find out. I know I couldn't have done it, but it's too bad. I mean, I admire the guys that can do that, but yeah, I get a little bit. I got to see light and sunlight and breathe the real air every now and then, and I ain't going down under for.
Yeah, I copy that. Same way here. I really love being on the ocean at night, calm, clear night, and it's beautiful out there. Nothing but stars everywhere. But been through a couple of hurricanes. Tell you what, I saw a 40,000-ton ship get tossed around like a cork in a bottle. I thought we were going down twice.
Yeah, no, those hurricanes are nothing to mess with. They always say up there in the Great Lakes, speaking of the Great Lakes, that's some of the most dangerous water in the world because it acts like an ocean, but they're smaller. They're not big like an ocean. I mean, they're big. Don't get me wrong, but the waves actually, the swells are closer together, and that makes them more dangerous. Is that what you found out when you were up there at Great Lakes as well?
Yeah, actually what happens with the Great Lakes is they're very shallow. They're not deep water lakes, and the waves really build quickly. It doesn't take a great deal of wind energy to really whip up a storm for a ship, and that's why a lot of them don't come back to port. They get caught in those November hurricanes, and it's all over real quick.
Yeah, they got a song about that, I guess. But, yeah, no, you always hear about all the sunken cars. Like right off Racine, there's supposed to be a bunch of 1950-some Nash Ramblers that were made there in Kenosha, just taken out on a boat, and the boat sank. So there's a whole boatload of brand-new Ramblers down there. I'm sure they're not much to look at anymore, but I would imagine once in the day it would have been kind of fun to go down and dive that.
Yeah, it happens quick, too. I was in a collision at sea, and that could have been bad. We're in the fog, and we shouldn't even have weighed anchor, and the captain was one of these hardheads. He knew it all until he ran into a Greek freighter. And he was senior captain. He forced Rachel, and they laterally transferred him to sailing a desk in the Pentagon over.
That's not a good thing when you hit one of those kind of ships. Yeah, no, that, I guess you got radar. There's really no reason. He should have known they were there, I guess. But, it takes two to tango, I guess. And, wow, that's unfortunate. But, I guess with technology, he should have known. I don't know. This might have been long before the advances in technology we got now, I guess. But, wow, that's lucky everything turned out all right for you, the crew and you guys.
Yeah, he's really lucky nobody got hurt. And I'm the man that maintained the radar systems, and I saw that thing out there 45 minutes. And I radioed CIC at 40 minutes, called him again at 20 minutes, and the last time I called him was 7 minutes to impact, and the captain told me to be quiet and said it was sea return. And I tell you, on my A-scope, no sea return looks like that.
It was glowing a whole different color, had a whole different look. So, well, you did what you were supposed to.
Oh, yeah, that was solid iron on that scope. Well, Mike, I'm getting a little bit out of breath here. About time to go get something to eat, but it's been really nice cue, so this amplifier is getting a little warm, too. I probably better give it a break, copy.
All right, very good. Well, we'll let you go, and it's been my pleasure this evening. Hopefully we get a chance to do it again before too long here, Mark. 73s, good evening, and have a great night out there in New Mexico. Kilowatt 5, Radio Victor, Norway, November 9, Delta, 73, and good evening.
73, and good evening also. Thanks for a very nice QSO. And K5 for the Charlie clear.
QRZ, anyone, anywhere. This is November 9, Delta. Is it Kilowatt 3 Delta Charlie?
Kilo 3 Delta Charlie, K3DCC.
All right, Kilowatt 3 Delta Charlie out there in Albuquerque. You're not as strong as the last gentleman I was just talking to. You're about a 5-5, 55 here into Atlanta. The name is Mike. 5-5, but you're copyable. There's not a lot of noise out there, so very easy to pull you out. K3DCC and N9DD.
You're about anywhere from S6 to S9, so it's up and down. And I'm not sure what condition the band's in today, but obviously it's working. We're running a 7610 here into a double bazooka. So I'm amazed that you're copying at all.
Very good. I think you threw it back to me there. QSB is starting to build. So my guess is 20 is getting ready to do its thing and disappear here in a bit. But at least out here on the East Coast, you guys got several hours of it out there. But yeah, no, the 7610 and the I think you said doublet seem to be working pretty well. 7610's a nice radio. A friend of mine has one down the street, and I've had the opportunity to play with it a couple of times, and I like it. We're running a FlexRadio 6600 into a G5RV, 102 foot long, up about 80 foot. And we're putting out about 400 watts from an Ameritron amplifier. So that's our operating conditions here, Andy. K3DCC and N9DD.
Yeah, K3DCC. Yeah, I see. We're not kicking the power meter up very hard, so not sure why that is, but at least we're getting out. And we won't hold it here, but thanks for coming back. And yeah, I have a 7300 here also, and the 7610 is pretty much the same rig with all extra bells and whistles. So thanks for coming back, and hey, be safe. And we'll catch you again maybe when conditions are better. K3DCC, go ahead.
All right, very good. K3DCC and N9DD. Yeah, you're gaining in strength, so I don't know if the conditions are just improving or if it's just the way it is, I guess. But have a great night or a great afternoon there in Albuquerque. We'll look for you again. Kilowatt 3 Delta Charlie Charlie, November 9 Delta Delta 73.
73s, and you were up over S9 that time, almost 10 over, so 73s. Be safe. K3DCC clear.
73s. QRZ, anyone, anywhere. This is November 9 Delta Delta. November 9 Delta Delta. QR.
November 2 India Romeo November.
November 2 India Radio November. Thank you very much, Jeff. Name here is Mike, Mexico India Kilowatt Echo, and you got a great signal. I'll give you a reading on the over, but it sounds at least 5.9 here into Atlanta.
Oh, awesome. You're 5.9 and a little bit more here in Virginia, on the west side of Virginia there. I'm just running 100 watts on a regular dipole, new IC 7300. You sound great.
Thank you very much. Your 7300's doing a fantastic job. You're 5.9 peeking in to the red just slightly. So 5.9 plus 5 on average there, it looks like. So doing a good job. We're broadcasting on YouTube right now, so what I do is just you do it. It's up there live if you wanted to look at it, but I save it. You might want to go see how you sound because the radio sounds fantastic. Doing a great job, but we're running a FlexRadio 6600 G5RV, 102 foot long, up about 80 foot, and we're putting out about 300 watts from a small amplifier. So that's what we're up to here, Jeff. N2 IRN and N9DD.
Well, it's doing a great job. Those flexes are amazing. Yeah, I saw that on your QRZ page that you sometimes broadcast on the YouTube. I turned it on and set the YL out on the patio there. So I thought you'd think that was pretty neat, and it was. But yeah, great setup there. Good pictures as well.
Yeah, no, it's I like the Flex. I've been a Flex guy since pretty much when the 6000 series came out. I had a Yaesu 3000 and had to send it off to the shop to get it worked on some finals failed after I did a bonehead move in a RIDI contest, and so got that fixed. And while it was away, somebody let me borrow a Flex 3000. I ended up buying it from him because I liked it so much. And once I got the Yaesu 3000 back, I said, I got two 3000s. That equals 6,000. Let's get rid of both of them and get a 6,000. So that's really how I got into it. Is sold both of those and threw in a little bit more money and got me a 6500 and been a Flexer ever since. It's a great radio. It's not for everybody, but they make good sound. But that 7300, those things are great. One of the best value for the price radios for the price anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I thought also. But the Flexes are great. I hate to say it, but I was out of the hobby for about 15, 16 years while I was raising the kids and whatnot. With the harmonics running around, it's the time gets prioritized and whatnot. And now that they're all getting at an age where I need to go down to the shack for some sanity sometimes, I found that a lot has happened in the 15 years in amateur radio, and I'm kind of definitely lagging behind a bit as far as the technology goes, all the different digital modes and whatnot. Like, I think I'm set up decent, but there's a lot of stuff out there that I just don't know how it works yet. Some of that is because of the computers and the network base and whatnot. Like, I think it's cool you can stream your QSOs right there on YouTube. Like, I have no idea how to do that. I was happy when I was able to turn the 7300 on from the dining room on a laptop. I thought that was kind of cool, but I haven't really perfected the transmitting remotely with it and whatnot. So I guess it takes time, but man, it's like what a way the hobby has gone. That's for sure. I definitely have a lot more learning to do with it, Mike.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I got licensed. I guess it's been 40 years this year I've been licensed. Got it when I was 15, and I'm 55 now, so I guess that's 40. But, yeah, I mean, I think back, I got my very first radio I ever had, I say it's the very first one. I guess it's the first real radio that's a transceiver. I had Heathkit Apache and whatever the sidekick to it was that did the receiving, and the transmitter were separate units. And shortly after I got licensed, my dad and I got a Hot Water 101, so it was the very first transceiver we had. And I still have the radio. I guess I probably always keep it just because of the memories and the fact that it was first. And I put it on the air every now and then. But I think from that to sitting here looking at the monitor, having three radios basically up and operating at the same time, or three receivers up, so I'm looking at 40, 80, and 20 meters. I got them all on the same antenna right now, so when I'm transmitting you can't see anything, but that's what I've done is got the three different slices up, and I can put up a total of 4 on this radio, and the 6700 will put up 8. So you think of that versus having one Hot Water 101 40 years ago. Yeah, it's changed a little.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hey, that's funny. You had the Hot Water 101 was your first HF rig. I got a license back, I think it was 86. And my first HF rig was a SB 401 transmitter and 303 receiver, and a whole bunch of cables back and forth trying to get it going there. I used to call them the grief kits there. I think I learned my lesson that you can't use a metallic screwdriver as an alignment tool. That was a costly mistake there. I think I fried a choke in the 401, and but yeah, I've had a couple grief kits over the ages, and pretty much stuck with the Kenwood hybrids for a long time. And a matter of fact, I think. Let me see. I'm not sure what my QRZ page looks like still. If I still have I still have all the Kenwoods out. I don't have the new rig out yet. But yeah, I pretty much stayed with the 830 for a long time. And for right before I had kids back in '99, I had the 847. Was doing a lot of satellite work and HF with a Titan DX. I tell you, that Titan DX antenna, that thing was probably the best antenna I ever had. I can't get over the results I'm getting with just these, this big box store, wire spools that were on closeout that I fastened into an antenna with some old 300 ohm TV cable. I can't believe it's actually getting out and going. But man, I'd really like to get the Titan DX back and see what the difference is. We got a pretty decent elevation here in the Shenandoah Valley, so I wonder if that thing would really get out a lot better than the dipole. But it is it is amazing how it's grown. I'd like to see more people out there like it was 15 years ago. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the hard part. I think the youth are more into texting and games and stuff like that, and we got to find a way to make it exciting for them. And I think some of the digital stuff, does that. And, we've got a couple. I was president last year of the Georgia Contest Group here in Georgia, and just recently turned over power of that. But, we have a couple of young guys in the club there that they're really into it and do great jobs, and they'll make great things happen. But need to get more than a couple in every club so that there's somebody to carry on, because the average age is probably up. The average age is probably up over 55 to 60 for a ham. So we need to do something to find some youth. NN9DD back to N2IRN.
Oh, that's right, N2IRN Friday. Yeah, I'm used to the old QSO where you exchange your area and your your signal strength and they're gone. But that does seem to be the only time there's really a bunch of people around is when they have when the contests and whatnot. And yeah, it would be great to have more kids into it. Mine, I always thought that I would teach them. I got two boys and a little girl. I thought for sure that one of them would pick up on it, and they just roll their eyes at me. I make the disc come out of their PlayStation there when I transmit, but that's about as much as the interest is. It's like they ask if you could turn it off or whatnot. But yeah, they got a lot of cool digital modes out there. I do some slow scan TV, but like I said, I'm not really proficient with it. Boy, they do have a lot of stuff out there, and they just don't think it's cool that you could talk halfway across the world just via radio. But I know like a lot of preppers, they're into the higher band stuff with the repeaters and whatnot. We need more guys, like you said, interested in HF. The old timers are definitely are leaving the hobby quicker than we're gaining. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, but it'll find a way. I mean, I hope it finds a way anyway. But it's going to take some effort, and I'm hoping the digital stuff will appeal, but we'll have to find a way to make it exciting for them. All right, Jeff, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. We're going to pass it along, and we got about a half hour left, and I see the crowds building out there, so I think we're going to go to the shotgun style operating here and see how many we can put in the log before the wife gets home around 8. So it's been a pleasure chatting with you. I've enjoyed it. Hopefully we get an opportunity to do it again, and we'll look for you down the log. If you hear me on the air, stop by. N2IRN and N9DD. We'll let you put the ribbons on at 73.
All right, 73s, Mike. Yeah, it was great chatting with you there. I don't blame you. See what you can find out there before the band dies down and Lyle gets home. But yeah, enjoy your evening and happy hunting there. And then 9 Delta Delta, November 2 Indio, Romeo, November 73s.
73 QRZ. Anyone, anywhere, November.
Kilo 0, Quebec, Mike.
Kilo 0, Quebec, Mike. Good evening, Lyle. 5-9 into Atlanta. Name is Mike.
Very good, Mike. You are 5-9 plus about 10 here. Very nice signal. And as you may, we're in Littleton, Colorado, and we're actually about 8 miles west of the actual little town of Littleton, and we're in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains here at about 6,000 feet. So nice day here, 70s, and but dry. We're very dry here. Forest fires going on, and a lot of smoke and so forth. So we'll hopefully get past that in the near future. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, those forest fires aren't good. I lived out in northern Arizona for a lot of years, and we had quite a few of them up there as well, and just not good. It makes for an ugly, hazy, sooty smell in the air, and just not good when you burn that many acres and property. So hope that ends out there for everybody's sake. But no, you're sounding good from Littleton. We're sitting here in Atlanta, Georgia. It was a beautiful day today. High, I was in the 65, 66 area, which, when you spend all summer at 90 and 90, as far as temperature and humidity, you're happy when it's in the 60s. So couldn't be happier. I went out and did a lot of work in the yard today and spent some time in the garage, and just came inside and sat down to play radio for a few minutes. So we're not going to hold it. We're going to keep rolling and see if we can pick up some others. But it's been my pleasure, Lyle, and hopefully we get a chance to do it again. It's K0 QMM and N9DD.
Yeah, very good, Mike. We'll let you go. And yeah, we just took off today and went about 60 miles south of here to Colorado Springs, and kind of got away from the smoke and so forth for a little bit. We're running an IC 7300 here into a M-fed long wire antenna. Very simple station, and seems to be doing a good job. So 73s, and we'll catch you later. K0 QMM, clear.
73s, and it's doing more than a good job. It sounds really good. It's peaking over the 9 into the red. So 73s, and good afternoon. QRZ, November 9, Delta Delta.
Hey, Mike, retry, K3DCC.
K3DCC, November 9, Delta Delta. How are you, sir?
Last time I talked to you, I was running 20 watts. How about now?
You're not near as strong as you were with the 20 watts.
That's how conditions change. It's about 400 watts now. All right, we'll let you go, K3DCC. Thanks.
Yeah, no, you're a lot quieter now, but you'll be able to hear that on if you want to watch it still. 73, good afternoon. QRZ, anyone, anywhere, November 9, Delta Delta. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, anyone, anywhere. This is November 9, Delta Delta. November 9, Delta Delta, Norway 9, Denmark calling CQ.
Kilo Foxtrot 4, Echo Alpha.
Kilo Foxtrot 4, Echo Alpha, November 9, Delta Delta, returning. Thank you very much. Name here is Mike. We're located just south of Atlanta, Georgia. You got a good signal. I'll give you a better reading on the over. This is NN9DD. Back to you.
Very good, Mike. Thanks for the call back. The name here is Mark, and I'm located in Okeechobee, Florida, so we're pretty close to each other, over.
Yeah, very good, very good. You got a great signal. You're into the red, so that's a good thing. Yeah, Okeechobee, is that down kind of along the Gulf Coast on the northern west side of the state?
Actually, we are in the south central Florida. If you look at a map of the state, there's a big hole in the middle of Florida, and that's Lake Okeechobee, and I'm on the north end of it. If you're familiar with the state, it's kind of between, I guess Fort Pierce and Bradenton on the other coast, if you will, but we're south central.
You know, I should have known that. I know where Okeechobee, Lake Okeechobee is, and I guess I just wasn't thinking and using my head. I was thinking it was over there near the turn in the Panhandle, but you're right. It's that big state, right, or the big hole down in the south part that kind of leads right into the Everglades.
That is correct. By the way, very nice signal down here tonight. You're like 20 over consistent.
Good. Thank you for that. Yeah, we're just running a FlexRadio 6600 G5RV. We do have the amplifier on, so we're putting out about 300 watts right now, and we're just kind of testing some microphones that I do a lot of remote contesting with the Flexes, and I like to use USB headsets when I do that, so I've been looking for a better mousetrap, and this is just a $50 USB headset from Best Buy, but it seems to make pretty decent noise and isn't very offensive, and it does some noise canceling, so this might be the winner for next weekend for CQ Worldwide.
Well, sounds good on this end. Like I said, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but I finally got this particular antenna back live after about a year of messing with connectors and cables up the tower and figuring that mess out. So I'm glad to have it back running again. It's a little Tenadyne T8. It's not a real big antenna, but it's nice to have, and it's up about 91 feet.
Well, it's doing good. It sounds really good. So, and Tenadyne makes some good equipment. I've never had the opportunity to use one, but know several people who have, and they all seem very happy with it. So it must be doing its thing.
This is actually my second one. My first one made it through 3 hurricanes over about 15 years, and when the time came, I just went back with the same thing, as it served me pretty well.
Well, good deal there. I just had a monitor go out, so I was reaching around the corner to figure out what's going on with that, but I guess we'll figure that out here in a minute. But yeah, no, it sounds good. So, all right, well, we're going to cut it short and see if we can pick up another couple of guys, and we'll say 73, and look for you again. My box is cutting out, so maybe I need to work on that with this mic. So 73, have a good night, and N9DD.
Same to you, Mike. KF4EA.
N9DD, 326 Oscar Whiskey.
Okay, there's a couple of you in here. Let me pick up the Bravo 3 Whiskey Alpha Queen first. Go.
Kilo Bravo 3 Alpha Whiskey Quebec.
Okay, Kilo Bravo 3 Whiskey Alpha Quebec. You're 58 into Atlanta. The name is Mike. Okay, Alpha Whiskey Quebec. We'll get it in the log, right? Thank you.
November 9, Delta Bravo, Kilo Whiskey 6, Alpha Charlie Kilo.
Okay, the station up in Pennsylvania, you faded out on me there, but I do have the call right in the log. So we'll say 73s to you. I heard you say you were up in Pennsylvania running 100 watts, and then the band just kind of faded on me. It looks like 20 is making a shift for the better or for the worse, I guess. We'll find out as the night wears on, but this time of night, it's usually starting to go for the worst here in Atlanta. So 73, and we'll look for you later. This is November 9, Delta. We'll say 73 and let you put the ribbons on it if you still hear me. Kilo Whiskey 6 Alpha Charlie Kilo. Kilo Whiskey 6 Alpha Charlie Kilo. This is November 9, Delta returning. Kind of the same situation for you as the last guy. You're about a 5'6", 5'7", copyable, but the band is really starting to take some wild swings over here with a lot of QSB. Back to you, November 9, Delta. All right, I think you threw it back to me. This is November 9, Delta. Yeah, you totally faded out on that one. So we'll say 73s, and we're just going to keep them short and run them quick, guys. 73, and have a good afternoon. This is November 9, Delta. Clear, and QRZ, anyone, anywhere, November 9, Delta. Victor in California again.
Roger, Alpha
India 5 Delta Bravo Victor in Bakersfield, California.
America India 6, Echo Charlie.
All right, stand by, America India 6, Kilowatt India 5 Delta Bravo Victor. Thank you very much. You're about a 5 and 7 here into Atlanta. The name is Mike. Roger.
Thank you, Mike. A good signal, good audio. Name here is Robert, and appreciate the comeback. KI5DBV.
Thank you very much, Robert. Have a good evening. QRZ, the Alpha India station.
Alpha India 6, Echo Charlie.
Alpha India 6, Echo Charlie. I'll give you a better read on the over. I didn't really look. It sounds like a decent signal. Name here is Mike. We're located just south of downtown Atlanta. Over.
Roger, the handle here is Victor. I'm in Encino, California, part of Los Angeles. I have you 5'9 plus.
Thank you very much for the 5'9 plus. You're hitting right about 5'8", 58 here into Atlanta. Roger.
Roger, thank you for that. That's great.
All right, 73, and have a good evening. We'll look for you again. It's been my pleasure. QRZ, anyone, anywhere, November 9, Delta Delta.
Kilo 4 Romeo Whiskey
Golf.
Kilo 4 Romeo Whiskey, Kilo 4 Romeo Whiskey again. The Radio Whiskey, Kilo 4 Radio Whiskey, I think it was. Go ahead.
Kilo 4 Romeo Hotel Sierra.
You were the one, but I guess the whiskey was somebody else's. Kilo 4 Radio Hotel Sierra. Thank you very much, Ray. Good signal here into Atlanta. The name is Mike. You're 5'9", and I think a little bit plus. Over.
Roger, 5'9 plus into Miami, Florida. I just heard you talking to the station out in California. They're very good. Just hope all's well with you. Just want to say 73. You got Ray here, Romeo Alpha Yankee, K4 RHS. Roger.
Roger. Thank you, Ray. You're sounding good up here into Atlanta. And, yeah, we're going to keep them moving. Band is really kind of starting to get a lot of QSB on it, so I'm just going to keep them short and keep them moving. K4 RHS, NN9DD, 73.
73s.
QRZ, anyone, anywhere, November 9, Delta Delta, November 9, Delta.
Kilo India 5, Whiskey Golf.
Kilo Charlie 2.
Whiskey 6, Whiskey Golf, November 9, Delta Delta. Good signal. I'll give you a reading on the over. Name here is Mike. We're located just south of Atlanta, Georgia. And you sounded like you were a 5'8", 5'9", but we'll give you a reading here in a second.
Thank you, Mike. You're 5'9", 5'9" in California. The QTH is Huntington Beach, but I'm running a remote rig into Kern County. The antenna's in Kern County. QTH is Huntington Beach. Again, you're 5'9".
Very good. Yeah, you're sitting right at a 5'9" as well. Peaking right there, maybe just slightly into the red and slightly below with the band kind of going weird right now. But sounding good, Ron, with the remote out there in Kern County. So we'll say 73s, and thank you for making the quick QSO tonight, and we'll look for you again. Whiskey 6, Whiskey Golf, November 9, Delta Delta.
Whiskey Alpha 2, Charlie, November.
Whiskey Alpha 2, Charlie, Norway. You're 5'9" plus into Atlanta. Name is Mike.
Good evening, Mike. Name here is Hank, Hotel Alpha November Kilo. And we're demonstrating ham radio to a few young visitors here. Over.
Okay, Hank, stand by for just a second and let me finish with the other gentleman. Whiskey Alpha 2, Charlie, Norway. Go ahead.
Yeah, NN9DD, WA2C Sienna, saying name here is Hank, Hotel Alpha November Kilo, and we're just demonstrating ham radio to a few young visitors here into the shack. Over.
Sorry about that, Hank. I guess short time memory there or something. You sounded different a little bit. There we go. My mic is cutting out. I better run PTT up here very quick. Yeah, no, you sounded different, I guess, so I thought somebody else coming back to me, but Your good signal, 5.9 plus here into Atlanta. The name is Mike. We're located about 25 miles south of downtown Atlanta in Stockbridge, Georgia. Over.
Okay, very good, Mike. I just wanted to repeat that we are demonstrating ham radio to a couple young visitors here into the ham shack. You got a nice signal up here. I'm in the very northeast corner of Pennsylvania. Over.
Oh, very good, Hank. It's nice to have the youngsters in the shack. You want to put them on the air?
Nah, they're all too shy.
Ah, come on, guys. It's a lot of fun. All righty, well, you're sounding good. Very good signal. We're running a FlexRadio 6600 G5RV, 102 foot long, up about 80 foot. I'm broadcasting live on my YouTube channel right now, so you can see what the FlexRadio looks like if you want to show them. It's NN9DD. Just search that on YouTube, and I'm broadcasting live right now, and I got a couple of different receivers up and running on the Flex right now. So that's what we're doing here, Beck.
Okay, Mike, maybe they're going to say hello. Say hello to Mr. Mike.
Hello, Mike.
How are you doing? What's your name?
Mike.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing? What's your name?
Mila.
Nice to meet you, Mila. Welcome to Ham Radio.
Okay, yeah, say hello. Thank you.
Thank you.
And when you're going to say hello, and tell them your name.
Hi, I'm Penny.
Well, how are you doing?
This is my granddaughter, Penny, and she's doing great.
Well, good. Nice to meet you, Penny. Thank you for talking to me.
Hold on. We're going to get Hannah in here. Hello. Say hello.
Hello, Mike.
Hi, Hannah. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing very good. Your dad and I are just having some fun tonight.
Okay, and my grandson, Connor, come here. Connor, say hello to Mr. Mike.
Hello.
Hey, Connor, how you doing? You and Grandpa playing radio?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing. You should have him teach you how to do CW.
Well, his dad, after many, many years of coaching, finally got his license too, my son. Oh, well. Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate it. Kids got a kick out of that, and you got a nice signal up here into Pennsylvania, and I hope you have a great weekend. NN9DD, WA2CCN.
WA2CCN, thank you very much, and anytime, happy to do it for the kids. So 73 and good evening. QRZ, anyone, anywhere. This is November 9, Delta Delta.
Kilo Charlie 2, Zulu, November uniform.
Okay, Kilo Charlie 2, Zulu, was it November uniform?
That's correct. Kilo Charlie 2, Zulu, November uniform. Name here is Steve, Sierra, Tango, Echo, Victor, Echo. And you're a good solid 5'9" on the yo-yo into central New Jersey, about 30 miles west of New York City.
You got the yo-yo right. Yeah, you're 5'5" to 5'9". Just depends which 15 seconds we're looking at. But overall, very copyable, well above the noise level, so no problems at all. Over.
Very good. Nice to hear that. I was beginning to think my radio was going bad.
No, it's, hold up something here. November 9, Delta Delta. There we go. Got it back. Too many buttons to play with. Yeah, no, it sounding good. So, all right, we won't hold it. We'll move on to the next one. So 73 and have a good evening. This is November 9, Delta Delta.
Alpha Juliet 4, Echo November.
Okay, Alpha Juliet 4, Echo Norway. Very nice signal. Name here is Mike. We're located in just south of Atlanta. Over.
Okay, you're in Atlanta. Okay, you must be pointing. I'm over here in near Greenwood, South Carolina, there. QSL.
Yeah, you got a great signal. You're 5'9", maybe peeking into the red just a little bit here into South Carolina. We're running a FlexRadio 6600 G5RV, 102 foot long, up about 80 foot, and we got the heater turned on, running about 300 watts right now. Over.
Yeah, roger on that, Mike. Yeah, the name here is Bobby. And if you know where Greenville, South Carolina is, I'm southeast of it, about 30-something miles there, Roger.
Well, that would kind of make it North Georgia, wouldn't it?
Well, not North Georgia, but it ain't far from me. I got a few kinfolk in Toccoa and places, Danielsville and stuff like that. Roger?
Roger. Yeah, no, I just teasing you. It's I was gonna say it's just you got to be within 20 miles of the border.
Well, no, it is a little bit further than that, but anyway, you're sounding good down here. Yeah, you got you about 10 over, so I just thought I'd say hello to you, Roger.
Yeah, roger that, Bobby. Yeah, you're running between 5.9 and 10 over as well. Band is just a little squirrely tonight, so it just depends on when you look. But very good signal, and we'll say 73s, and hopefully get a chance to do it again. AJ4 Echo Norway, November 9, Delta Delta.
All right, brother. You take care and have a good one. Stay safe and stay healthy. All I know is I was going to tell you this right quick before I jump out of here. I know right before it got dark, the gray line, 6 meters, 10 meters, 12, all of them opened up into Japan. It was crazy on my end now. But anyway, y'all take care, 73s.
6 meters was open into Japan, too?
I heard them in there. I didn't work them. I worked them on 17 and 20. But I heard them in there with, I'm trying to remember who else was in there. There's some guys in Alaska in there, too, there, Roger.
Wow, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, no, I heard the Japan stations on 20 and 15, but I didn't know it went all the way down to 10 and 6. I'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. All I know is right when that gray line come across me, it seemed like it just opened up everything.
Well, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Thank you for letting me know, sir. And tomorrow night or tomorrow morning, we'll have to keep our ears open for it. 73, and have a good night. AJ4EN and N9DD.
73, mate.
KG6 Oscar Whiskey.
Kilowatt Georgia 6 Oscar Whiskey. Thank you very much. Name here is Mike, Mexico, India, Kilowatt Echo, and we're located just south of Atlanta, Georgia, in the city of Stockbridge. You got a good signal. I got Kilowatt George, King George 6 Oscar Whiskey. Roger.
Yeah, Kilo Golf 6 Oscar Whiskey here. The name is Vern, and CPH is Laguna Beach, California, and you're just booming into Southern California.
It is hot. Georgia, man, you can negotiate, get whatever you want.
Oh, man, I'm messing this all up, getting my buttons out of sync. Yeah, you're a little out of well, not a little. You're fine. Just a little lighter. You're about 5 and 7 here into Atlanta. QSB is just up and down here, so you'll probably come up in a second and down in another second. But 5-7 is the current signal report. Very copyable. KG6OW and N9DD.
Waiting for you, but you got a beautiful signal in the Laguna Beach, California this evening. So have a 73 and enjoy.
All right, thank you very much for the report from Laguna Beach, and hopefully we can do it again. QRZ, anyone, anywhere, November 9, Delta Delta. Wow, that was like the perfect triple. I heard 3 or 4 of you in there, and you all were right on top of each other. Try it again.
November Mike 5, November Uniform 3, Radio Bravo.
Okay, I got 2 of them there. November Mike first.
Yeah, NN9DD from November Mike 5, November Uniform. How copy?
November Mike 5, November Uniform. This is November 9, Delta Delta. A good copy, about a 5 and 8, 5 and 9 here into Atlanta. The name is Mike.
Very good 5 and 9, and sometimes 10 over for you here. I think you said 300 watts into the G5RV, I think, is doing very well. Central New Mexico is the location here, just 100 watts out of the ICOM 7300 into a 4 BTV vertical. And we're about 40 miles south of the state capital at Santa Fe, just a little bit north of Albuquerque. QSL?
Oh, very good. Beautiful country up there. Spent a couple of summers up there in northern New Mexico and love it. I probably moved back to Arizona where I was living when I did that, but Just love the Southwest and love that area up in the high desert. So 73s and good evening. We're going to keep moving and try to pick up a few more. NM5NU, NN9DD, 73.
Come back to the call there. Have a great day. Stay well. 73 from New Mexico. NM5.
Kimo Mike 4, Quebec, Yankee.
Okay, the QRP station, the QRP. There was a QRP calling. Go ahead.
That's KM.
Is it Whiskey Zero? Whiskey Zero again. There's a QRP. Whiskey Zero. Go ahead.
Whiskey Zero, Bravo, Nancy, Charlie, DNC, like the connector.
Okay, we got you. Whiskey Zero, Bravo, Nancy, Charlie. We got you in there, Robert. Name here is Mike. We're in Atlanta, Georgia, and you're about a 5 and 6 to 5 and 7 here into Atlanta. Over. All right, I think you threw it back to me there. You faded on that one down to about a 5 and 4. It's still above my noise level, but you kind of just faded right into it. So we won't hold it, but you made the trip. We got you in the log. W0BNC, Bob out there in Colorado, running the QRP 73. This is November 9, Delta Delta. Okay, there was 4 land to go. The Kilo 4 or Whiskey 4? Kilo 4, November, Kilo 4. This is November 9, Delta Delta. Name here is Mike. We're located in Atlanta. And you got a decent signal. I'll give you a better reading on the over. This is November 9, Delta Delta.
This is Kilo 4, Oscar Fox, Sandy. Do you copy?
Kilo 4, Oscar Fox. What was the last letter?
Kilo 4, Oscar Fox, Sandy. Hey, neighbor, we're about 15 miles apart. My name's David.
Hey, very good, David. Yeah, no, we're not that far apart, or not very far apart, but nice to meet you, David. We're just sitting over here just north of 138 on East Atlanta Road in Stockbridge. Well, I appreciate you doing it. You're like the second or third guy I bumped into here in the last couple of weeks. Locals, you know, you don't really ever hear them on HF because they're flying right over you. But picked up some good ground wave and met another gentleman down there off Eagles Landing, and always talked to Cal out there in Conyers and a couple other guys. So always nice to meet the neighborhood.
Copy that. Yeah, I've never heard you on any of the. This is the first time I've ever heard you on the radio. So I know there's a lot of people in this area that are ham operators.
Yeah, no, there's actually, yeah, there are quite a few. I was president of the Georgia contest group for the last year and a half or so, and we were always looking for new members to help us in contests and get involved with that. So that's a local group here in the Atlanta area. It's called GeorgiaContestGroup.com. If you want to know more about us, check us out. But it's always nice to meet the neighbors there. So thank you for giving me a shout, and we're going to keep rolling and see if we can pick off a few more here before 20 calls it quits for the night. KK4, Oscar Fox Alpha, NN9DD.
KM4, QYL. Do you got
Oscar Fox, Indy, and I'm going to shoot you an email just and where we can chat more. KK4, if not clear.
All right, very good. Love to. And the email is nn9dd@yahoo.com. 73, have a good night. Okay, the Kilo Mike 4, go ahead.
Roger that. Good evening. This is Al, Alpha Lima, and the call sign is Kimo Mike 4, Quebec, Yankee, Lima. We're in Southwest Florida on the Gulf, Naples, Florida. Do you copy?
Very good copy. You're 5'9" plus a whole bunch here into Atlanta. The name is Mike, and we're running a FlexRadio 6600 G5RV About 300 watts, and you're hitting to between 9 and 10 over. Over.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I want to ask you, how do you like the Flex radios? I've been looking at them, and I've been hearing good reports on them. Back to you.
Hold on. You asked the wrong guy if you're looking for something bad. No, I have been with Flex Radio, using them since they pretty much introduced the 6000 series in, well, I think it was 2013, somewhere around there. And I had Yaesus my whole life before that, and got hooked with a Flex 3000. Then they introduced the 6000, and got one of those, and I love them. They're easy to use. They hear very, very well. They make very good audio, and you know, they got built-in remote capabilities, so you can pretty much just, I use my iPad or iPhone when I drive to work, and just operate mobile remote, if you will, and have the big 300-400 watt station running here, and talking to people from the car. So I just love it. It's a good radio, good receiver. Great, you know, it's not for everybody. Some people don't like it because it's not freestanding, but if you're into the tech and like computers and stuff, it's a great radio because you can run it all from your keyboard.
I was interested at one time, before I bought my Yaesu 3000, but I've got it now, and I love it. I connect that with my 9.8 tuner and the Ameritron 1306, and I've been knocking down a lot of doors, thank God. KM4QYL and N9DD, back to you.
You can't really go wrong. That 3000 is a good radio. I had a Flex Yaesu 3000, was the last Yaesu I owned before I moved over to Flex, and I guess that's not true. I had a couple other ones. But you know, the Flex 3000 was a very, very good radio in its own right, and you know, some days I wish I still had it, just as another toy to play with. But I got too many radios, so I guess it's good I got rid of it. Over.
Was I do? You can never have enough of radios, right? Back to you.
Well, I agree with that statement completely. I'm not sure my wife does, but I agree completely. I am looking at, I don't know, I want to pick up one of those little Xiegu G90s. I don't know if you've seen them. Small form factor, Chinese-made 20-watt SDR. Some about that just intrigues me. I don't know why, but I might pick up one of those for something to do.
Well, I have to be honest with you. My wife was the same way. I mean, I've got quite an ensemble over here. What I did is, she's not here right now, but I got her interested in it, and when there's a lot of DX out there, I call her in so she can sit down and listen to the conversation and where they come from. So I guess in her eyes, everything is okay. Back to you.
Yeah, no, my wife is, she's good with it. You know, sometimes she'll say I spend too much time up here in the shack, but, you know, she's good with it. Usually the only time there's any, I won't even say a disagreement because it's really not, you know, she gets frustrated if I bring home a $2,000 or $3,000 radio and didn't talk about it, and I've done that once or twice.
Well, I made it kind of simple for my wife. I used to have I have a workshop in the backyard, a large workshop, and I partitioned that off into a little office, and that was my shack for a couple of years. But I got to a point where if it's under lightning and I've got to cross the yard and go out there, I said to heck with this. So I built an extension onto the house. And all I do is walk 10 feet from my bedroom, and I'm in my shack. Back to you.
Well, that sounds good. Can't argue with that. Mine is just up the stairs, so down the hall from the bedroom and up the stairs. And it's, you know, I like it. It's a good shack, and I have a lot of fun here. But all right, Al, we won't hold it. We're going to let you run and see if we can pick up some more. We have quite a few people out there, so we're going to see if we can put a few more in the log. Wife should be home any minute, so Just putting some in the log. KM4 QYL in Florida. This is November 9 Delta Delta. We'll say 73s and let you tie the ribbons on it.
Roger Dodger on that. November 9 Delta Delta KM4 QYL Southwest Florida. 73s. It's been nice talking with you.
73 QRZ anyone anywhere. November 9 Delta Delta.
Juliet 4 Echo Oscar Whiskey.
Juliet 4 Oscar Whiskey. Complete your call.
Kilowatt Juliet 4 Echo Oscar Whiskey. Kilowatt Juliet 4 Echo Ocean Whiskey. Name here is Austin, Aberdeen, Maryland. How you doing tonight?
Very good, Austin. Very good. Kilowatt Juliet 4 Echo Oscar Whiskey NN9DD. You got a good signal about 5 and 7, 57 here into Atlanta. The name is Mike. Over.
Alrighty, Mike. November 9 Delta Delta. What a call sign. Yeah. Pretty happy to see 20s open tonight. You got a very strong signal. I'd say about doing 10 over here in Aberdeen. Good to hear from you. I'll hand it back to you. Over.
Very good. Yeah, you dropped to about a 5 and 5, 5 and 6 that time. You were much stronger on that first transmission, but that's just 20. It's that time of night. It's getting ready to do its thing, I think. So we'll say 73s, Austin. We're going to keep trying to pick up some of the guys that are calling along with you. So have a good night, and we'll look for you again when I got more time to chat. But you're doing good out of Maryland. KJ4 EOW NN9DD 73.
73 is there.
Kilo November 4 Hotel Charlie November.
Kilo November 4 Hotel Charlie again.
Kilo November 4 Hotel Charlie November.
Kilo Charlie 4 Hotel Charlie Norway. Richard, good evening. How are you down there in South Georgia or South Florida? Name here is Mike. We're just south of Atlanta. Over.
Roger. We're in Palm Bay, Florida, 30 miles south of where they shoot the rockets. Over.
Very good. So more central Florida or pretty close to it. But no, you're running S9, just peeking into the red a little bit. So good signal here into Atlanta.
Roger. You're 59, 5'9" here, and about +5, and we're running barefoot though, and we're running 3-element beam pointed at you.
Very good. You're sounding good. Strong signal here into Atlanta. All right, we're going to keep rolling, pick up some of the other gentlemen, so we'll say 73s and look for you again. This is November 9 Delta Delta. We'll let you put the ribbons on at 73.
Thank you very much for the return on the call. KM4HCN out.
73 QRZ November 9 Delta Delta.
Whiskey 6 Sierra Mike Tango.
Whiskey 6 Sierra Mike Tango. Absolutely beautiful signal, Stan. Name is Mike. We're in Atlanta. I'll give you a reading on the over. Go.
Oh, fantastic, Mike. You sound equally as well here in the beautiful Southern California this afternoon. Just you're solid 5'9". Just want to get in there and let you know you're sounding good. Stay safe out there, my friend, and we'll work you further down along. November 9 Delta Delta Whiskey 6 Sierra Mike Tango.
Well, you finished that transmission just like you started it. About almost +20 there. You faded a little bit for a minute, but way copyable above the 9. So you're a 5'9 plus 73, and we'll look for you again. QRZ, anyone, anywhere, and N9DD.
Kilo Oscar 4 Delta November Mike.
November Mike, the station November Mike. Okay, Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Norway Mike. Thank you very much. Name is Mike. We're about 20 miles south of Atlanta, and you got a good signal here into Stockbridge. I'll give you a reading on the over. Thank you, Jeremy, for the report there from Tampa. You faded quite a bit there. You were about a 5'5", 5'6", but still very copyable and doing a respectable job. So we'll say 73s and pick up some of the other gentlemen. Have a good night, and thank you for the call. Kilowatt Oscar 4 Delta Norway Mike, November 9 Delta Delta QRZ. Kilowatt Alpha 8 Papa, Kilowatt Alpha 8 Papa.
Yeah, it's Kilo Alpha 8 Papa Golf Whiskey, KAATGW, Northeast Ohio. Merv.
All right, Merv, we got you. Kilowatt Alpha 8 Papa Golf Whiskey and N9DD. Got a good signal coming out of Ohio. You're about 5.6, 5.7 here into Atlanta. Signals are starting to drop. I think 20's getting ready to give up on the daylight, but you're making the trip down here from Ohio. KA8 PGW and N9DD. All right, I think you threw it back to me there, Merv. You faded almost into obscurity there. So 73s and have a good night. QRZ, anyone, anywhere? I think there was a station ending Mike. Go ahead.
Whiskey 6, Lima, Mike, Juliet.
Whiskey 6, Lima, Mike, Juliet. That was the one. Good signal. You're about 5.8 to 5.9 here into Atlanta at the moment. Name is Mike.
Roger, is this Atlanta, Georgia?
Atlanta, Georgia. Roger, roger.
Well, I'm not that far from you. I'm in De Leon Springs, Florida, near Daytona Beach. I'm kind of surprised that we've got propagation.
I think it's ground wave just by the signal strength because it fluctuates wildly, and a lot of the guys from Florida that have been here in the last 20 minutes all are sounding the same. Strong 1 minute, weak the next. So I think we're picking up some funky ground wave. But yeah, you threw me for a loop with the 6, but I have no room to complain. I'm throwing a 9 from Foreland. So, but good signal here with ground wave from down there in Central.
Yeah, I'm moving the antenna. Let me make sure I've got your call correctly. I'll compute the direction and distance to your location. Over.
Yeah, it's November 9, Delta, Delta, and I'm looking at the bearings on my thing, and I must not have something to tell me to beam north, and I know that ain't.
Yeah, I've got you at 332 degrees. I'm now pointed right at you. 354 miles. That is really short for 20 meters. Wow.
Yeah, and that brought you up to about an 8 or a 9. 8 or 9 did definitely make it.
Oh, yeah, you're 5 and 9. You're 5 and 9. The name here is Terry, Tango, Echo, Romeo, Romeo, Yankee, running 100 watts into a force 12 at 72 feet, a C4, 40 through 10 meter force 12 antenna. Go ahead.
Well, I think you're doing all the heavy lifting when it comes to the antenna. We're running a FlexRadio 6600 with a G5RV 102 foot long, up about 80 foot. It does pretty well for me on really 40 and 80. It does pretty good. 20, it doesn't do bad, but it's a lot stronger on 40 and 80. And we're running about 300 watts of an amplifier.
Amplifier online if you thought it would make a difference. Otherwise, I'll just leave it the way that it is. But you really have a very, very nice signal. Looking at a picture of your station on QRZ, very nice and tidy. Nothing like what I'm using. Go ahead.
Well, I'd love to tell you that's what you'd see right now if I let you look at it today. I mean, it still looks the same, but last weekend I got ambitious and decided I was going to recable everything. So I basically took the cables out of all the computers, all the radios, all the TVs, all the everything, and reran all the cables to kind of clean it up and stuff. And you know, behind the desk looks better, but in front of the desk and on top of the desks, I got all kinds of cables and wires and things that were down there that I don't use anymore. So I got some cleaning to do.
Yeah, I just brought online pointed in your direction. So now I'm at 1,300 watts, and should not have made any difference in the way I sound. I just should have more signal going your way. Go ahead.
You're right on one count. It really didn't change the way you sound. Everything still sounds really good. You have good audio. But it really didn't do that much. You know, maybe one S unit brought you up from an 8 to a 9, maybe just a tad into the red. But it didn't improve you all that much. I think the band is just getting ready to call it a day.
Roger. Yeah, normally this time of night I'm swinging out into the Pacific and talking to the Hawaiian Islands and then Pitcairn and then Tonga and Fiji and then eventually Australia and New Zealand. But today I'm just talking up the road. Really kind of amazing. Do you go by Mike or Michael?
I go by Mike. You know, if somebody's calling me Michael, it's either somebody at work who doesn't know better or my mother.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. I always ask when I see somebody's name come up at QRZ.com. Oh boy! Then I make a note and put it in my logbook, and then forever my logbook will always bring it up with whatever name a guy prefers to be called by, and that works out rather well. I really like that call sign, November 9, Delta Delta. Wow, very cool.
Yeah, I did the same thing with you, Terry. I just took out what QRZ had and put what you gave me in, and that way I'll have it right the next time. But yeah, no, it was. I got the call probably 4 or 5 years ago. I was originally licensed back in 1981, so 40 years, or 1980, 40 years this year, as November 9 Delta Fox Delta. So I always had 2 Ds in it, and I liked the November 9 because it's kind of my identity, I guess. So I just flipping through vanity calls one day, and I saw the double N and the double D, the 9, and I said, "There's my baby," and I applied for it, got it, and you know, it's a fun, catchy little call. Over.
It is, and it'll stay with people. People will see that and remember that, and that'll be very, very cool. I've always been Lima Mike Juliet in the States. I had a Mars call in Vietnam and a Mars call in Germany and a German amateur call sign and a Mars call in Panama and a Panamanian call sign and a Mars call in California and Oklahoma. And, of course, with my stateside call. But when I came to Florida, I was starting to work as an academic doing educational research, and I thought, well, I'll be there for 18 months to 2 years, and then I'll switch institutions, and I'll make my way back out to California, which is my home state. And so that was 25 years ago, and obviously I didn't go anywhere. I moved north 200 miles from Palm Beach County to Volusia County, but that's about all. But now I'm kind of used to this call sign, so I think I'll keep it. Go ahead. Oh,
yeah, no, it took me forever when I changed call signs to not keep using the old one. You just, you know, you're a ham for 20, 30, 40 years, and you get used to that call. And I guess I was a ham for about 35 years with that call, and then to switch it took a little bit of shock, but now I never make the mistake, and if I had to use the other one, I'd probably struggle.
Roger, Roger. Well, Mike, I think I'll let you go, and I'll stand by, let you continue to work people while you've got a band opening. And thank you for coming back to me. You're doing a great job with the station there. Just a nice 5.9 signal. No problem with the audio. It's perfect. And couldn't ask for better than that. Go ahead.
Well, very good. It's been a pleasure, Terry, and we'll look for you again. Hopefully we'll get another opening where we can talk, or maybe we'll do it on 40 or 80 at night. So 73s, and have a good night. Whiskey 6, Lima Mike Juliet, November 9, Delta Delta 73.
Roger, 73, Mike. Willie 6, lost my job. Now clear.
Like it. 73, QRZ, anyone, anywhere, November 9, Delta Delta.
K3, EPL, Maryland.
Okay, Kilowatt Oscar 4, Kilowatt Oscar 4.
Yeah, this is Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Whiskey Delta out of Virginia.
Very good. Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Whiskey Delta. You got a good signal out of Virginia. Give you a better reading on the over, but it sounds like it's up there in the 8 to 9 category.
Roger that. Just so you know, November. First HF contact for me.
Well, very good. We've got to commemorate. I recorded it for you. I guess let me put it that way. I have my YouTube up and running right now, so I'm running a live stream, and I'll be saving it here when I'm done. And let me look and see. You're about an hour and 25 minutes into it, so you'll be able to go back and see that on my YouTube channel. Just put my call in YouTube NN9DD, and you'll see a call with today's date and 2300 Zulu, because I started about 7 o'clock, and hour and 25 minutes into it, you should see your cue with me and have it there forever.
Roger that. Thanks for the contact. Kilo Oscar 4 Echo.
All righty. All right, very good. You're sounding good there, and welcome to the HF Band 73. QRZ, November 9, Delta.
November 9, Delta, Whiskey, Bravo 6, Quebec, Echo X-Ray.
Whiskey Bravo 6, Quebec Echo X-Ray. Peter, how are you? Very good signal. I'll give you a reading on the over, but you sound like you might be tickling the red. Over.
Okay, well, thank you very much. You obviously found me on the computer. Strangely enough, I'm a 6 call, but not New York. At the moment, we're in the new location, which hasn't been shown up on the air yet. We're in Silver Spring, Maryland. And you got everything else right, but we are not in New York, so that's the story. I did not catch your name on the when I was reading the mail before. You've got mine as Peter, and I'll turn it over to you. And you've got excellent audio and a beautiful signal.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I like to hear it, especially on the audio. We're trying out some new headsets for next week, and we'll be doing CQ Worldwide Remote, running a station up in Maine, and operating here remote as part of a team, and just trying out some USB microphones. So this is just a $50 USB gaming microphone, but it seems to do pretty well. So that's what we'll be running remote next week for CQ Worldwide and stuff. But you're sounding really good, very good down here into Atlanta. We're running a G5 RV, 102 foot long. All that's coming from FlexRadio 6600. And the name here is Mike, Mexico, India, Kilowatt Echo. I think that's just about everything. Over.
Very good, Mike. Thank you. I did miss the QTH. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, we're about 25 miles south of downtown Atlanta in the city of Stockbridge, Georgia. Stockbridge, Georgia, 25 miles straight south of downtown Atlanta.
Okay, very good. Used to be south of you by a bit in Valdosta, Georgia at Moody Airplane Patch, and familiar with the area down there. I even know a couple little tiny towns that we used to use as references for acro areas, but that's a whole separate story. But very nice signal. Your rig is doing a good job. Neither one of us is running a beam. I'm running a center-fed dipole, a multi-band, and we're running a ICOM 746 Pro, which is getting a little long in the tooth, but still works very nicely. And longer in the tooth, an amp supply LK500ZB, which I still like to look inside once in a while and see the filaments glowing. With that, Mike, back to you.
Yeah, very good. It all sounds good. The 746, that was a good radio. My father had one of those for several years, and it just did a good job, kept working, and you got, what, I think that one has 7046. I think it had 2 meters on it, too. So it's kind of handy for that, but it may not have, and I might be confused with some other radio, but very good. You're sounding good, and yeah, we know right where Valdosta is. We used to live down in Albany for a little bit in South Georgia, so. All right, well, we'll let you go and we'll hold it. We'll try to get a few more of these calls in the log, and we'll say 73 and look for you again. WB6QEX up there in Maryland, November 9, Delta Delta.
Okay, Mike, November 9, Delta Delta, Whiskey Bravo 6, Quebec Echo X-ray. Well, when I was down there, it was called Albany, but I guess it's come and worked out, so it sounds about the same as New York's capital. Whatever. Doing a nice job, and your mind is sharp as can be because the 746 Pro does have 6 and 2 meters. With that, I'll turn it over to you to do a little more hunting and say 7-3, and I look forward to our next time. QSO. November 9, Delta Delta, Whiskey Bravo 6, Queen Elizabeth X-rays.
Yeah, you got it right, Peter. That's how they say it down there, Albany. But I just refuse to cooperate, I guess. Must be why I don't live there. To me, it's Albany. That's just the way you're supposed to say it. But 73, have a good night. Anyone, anywhere, QRZ. This is November 9, Delta Delta, just south of Atlanta, Georgia. 3 Radio Bravo, 3 Radio Bravo, go ahead.
America 3, Radio Bravo.
Alpha 3, Radio Bravo. Ron, good evening. Name here is Mike, Mexico, India, Kilowatt Echo. And we're located 25 miles south of Atlanta, Georgia. You're about a 5.6 to 5-7 right now. 5.6 to 5-7, over.
Okay, Mike. Well, thank you for the signal reports. You're 5.8 plus up here. I just was curious as to whether you could hear me or not. I just constructed a new Moxon antenna, and I've got it 8 feet off the ground while I'm tuning it up and making sure everything is good before I put it up on the tower. So I'm glad that I'm making a 5.6, 5.7 down there. I'm up here in Mike Delta, as you probably know, running barefoot, 100 watts on a Tango Sugar 570. Back to you.
No, you're sounding good. The Moxum is doing good. If you get it up a little higher, I think that's what you said you were on. So I'm assuming it's down low still, and you'll get it up in the air, and it'll do real well for you. Sounds good, very good, and thank you very much for the call. Yeah, we're going to keep moving here and try to pick up some more people, but do appreciate the call, and the radio and the antenna are doing well there, Ron. Over.
To me, gives me the signal report, and you sounding really good in there. Have a nice evening. 73, Alpha 3 Radio Bravo. I'm clear.
Very good. Yeah, and if you want to hear what that thing sounds like, Ron, go ahead and go to my YouTube page and search NN9DD, or go to YouTube and search my call sign. And I've been recording tonight, so it's out there running, and I'll be saving it here in a little bit because I'll be getting off here at the top of the hour. You're about an hour and 31 minutes into the video. So if you want to hear what you sound like, you know, it sounds good, about 5.7 to 5.8. So 73 and good night, November 9, Delta Delta. QRZ, anyone, anywhere, everyone, everywhere. This is November 9, Delta Delta. November 9, Delta Delta, Atlanta, Georgia.
Kilo Charlie 3, November. Mike Bravo, Foxtrot.
Kilo Charlie 3, November, Oscar, Mike Bravo, Foxtrot, stand by. We got you, Stephen. You're 5.8 to 5.9 here into Atlanta. The name is Mike.
Roger, Mike. Name here is Stephen. Here, Tango Echo Victor Echo. Copying you 5.9 into Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, state capital.
Very good. Yeah, you're right there holding 8 to 9 here into Atlanta, and we're running a FlexRadio 6600, 300 watts into a G5 RV up about 80 foot. So that's our operating conditions there. We'll shoot it back to you, Stephen, for a final, and pick up some of the other gentlemen out there. KC3, NNO, NN9DD.
Roger. Yeah, I'm here running a ICOM 300 coupled with a Butternut Hotel Fox 6 Victor. I've gone vertical, but making it out 20 meters.
Vertical's not all bad. Some people say they got a better angle of attack on the signal, so you can get a little more DX, but I don't know. To me, I've had success both ways. It doesn't matter. I just like talking. 73 and good evening. We'll look for you again. KC3 NNO. This is NN9DD. The station I had stand by with November in it. Go ahead.
Henry 6 Charlie Bravo.
Stand by, King Henry 6. The Kilo Bravo 3 again.
Kilo Bravo 3, November Uniform Foxtrot. November Uniform Foxtrot.
Okay, we got you. KB3 November Uniform Foxtrot. You took a big dip from when you were when I had you stand by. You were solid 5.7 to 5.9, and now you're down there right just above the noise level, 5.4 to 5.5. But making the trip into Atlanta. The name is Mike. Over.
Roger, Mike. QS name here is Brian Bravo Romeo India Alpha November.
Very good, Brian. Thank you very much for the quick shout tonight, and we'll say 73 as well. I hope you can still hear me, and we'll look for you again. The King Henry 6 or King Henry 7, go ahead.
Roger, Mike. November 9, Delta. This is King Henry 6 Charlie Bravo. You got Cqing, Sierra, Oscar, November Yankee. And Mike, I am on the island of Oahu in the Hawaiian Islands. Over.
Well, you got a great signal, James. Great signal. You're about 5.8 to 5.9 here into Atlanta. Doing a very good job with good audio. So you guys are doing good coming back to the southeast, actually, all the way across the United States. Over.
Roger, Mike. Yeah, we got to cross on this island, and we got to cross that big blue pond they call the Pacific Ocean before we can get to the continental U.S. I am checking out an 8-band audio equalizer, so I'm hoping I sound okay on your side, Mike. I just put it on last night, and I'm making some checks and some adjustments, so I hope it sounds okay, Mike. And did you say you were in Atlanta, Georgia? NN9DD, King Henry 6 Charlie Bravo, over.
King Henry 6 Charlie Bravo, November 9, Delta, returning. Yeah, James, if you want to hear what you sound like, I have my YouTube feed up right now. I'm broadcasting live. You can go out there and just type in NN9DD. You'll see a live feed right now. Or when I save it, you can go back and listen to it anytime. If you go back and don't catch it live, it'll be an hour and 36 minutes into it. But you can hear what you sound like. I think it sounds good, but you know what you really sound like, and whether you want more bass or more treble. You know, I'm a bass guy, so you can never have too much bass. But it sounds good, I think. But you can check it out there and make adjustments as you see fit. But everything else sounds really, really good. King Henry 6 Charlie Baker, NN9DD.
Oh, Roger, Mike, NN9DD, King Henry 6 Charlie Bravo, mahalo. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to work this thing, but I did make some adjustments on the audio equalizer, and I would appreciate it if you could record it and play it or send it back to me some way. My current email is current on QR Zip if you're interested. And thank you very much, Mike. I didn't mean to take up your time. I know you had several stations out there, but I just wanted to see if this 8-band equalizer was working. Mahalo, Mike. Thank you very, very much, and aloha from Hawaii. You keep safe and keep healthy. November 9, Delta, King Henry 6 Charlie Bravo, Honolulu, Hawaii. 73's aloha, unless you have any other questions or comments. Over.
All righty, we'll say 73, James, and leave you with just a recording. I don't have a way to record it that I can send, but here's what you sound like. I'll play it back over the air.
Email is current on QR Zip if you're interested. And thank you very much, Mike. I didn't mean to take up your time. I know you had...
So that's what you sound like on the air. So hopefully that sounds like what you're looking for, James. CH6CB, NN9DD.
Roger, thank you, Mike. Thank you, and aloha. Have a nice evening. King Henry 6 Charlie Bravo. We're going to clear this frequency and go QSY.
73. QRZ, anyone, anywhere, November 9, Delta.
Whiskey 1.
Whiskey 1 again, Whiskey 1.
Whiskey 1, Mike Bravo, Foxtrot, in the great state of Rhode Island, up here in the Northeast.
Very good, Mark. You got a good signal coming down here to Atlanta. Name here is Mike, and you're about 5'8" to 5'9" here into Atlanta on the Flex. Over.
About the same, 5'8", 5'9". Yeah, just happen to be tuning around. Not much going on here, but you're about the only game in town, I think, on my G5 RV here on the island. So, yeah, good stuff. Heard you talking to King Henry VI. That's always fun. Done that a few times on the G5, and, yeah, I don't know, maybe conditions will get a little better. I won't keep you. There's probably lots of things. But enjoy the rest of your weekend, man. Station sounds good.
Okay, thank you very much. And, yeah, no, you're sounding good down here as well. So you're doing equally as well. And, yeah, it's always fun when the DX is calling you. So you always like to get those in the log. But we'll say 73. Look for you again and appreciate the contact, Mark. W1, Mike Bravo Fox, NN9DD, 73.
73, thank you.
QRZ, anyone, anywhere? Whiskey 2, Hotel Fox Fox. Thank you very much, Howard. Name here is Mike. We're just south of Atlanta, and I'll give you a better reading on the over. Go.
Okay, Mike. I think I spoke to you recently. The handle here is Howard, Fairtown, New York. Yeah, I don't have my amplifier on. I could turn it off. The signal's a little weak. I just had it tuned up to 40, so I have to retune it up here on 20. Back to you, Mike.
W2HFF, NN9DD returning. Yeah, no need. You're 5'7" to 5'8", 5'7" to 5'8". And that's about where everybody is. I think 20's getting ready to give up the ghost here pretty soon. So no need to tune up the amplifier. You're just going to have to put it back on 40 in a little bit if you go there anyway. So it's just kind of the way it is. But, yeah, we had a conversation, looks like, about 2 weeks ago on 40 meters. Don't know if I was driving home from work or whatnot, but no, it was later than that. It was about 8:15 on a couple of weeks ago, Sunday or Monday, but 12 days ago, so it'd been Monday night. But you're sounding good. Over.
Yeah, you sound good here. Still didn't look at the estimator. I should have looked. Okay, so I was just looking at the QRZ log to see when we spoke before, but you beat me to it. Yeah, just I'm looking at SDRs, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm thinking of getting an SDR transceiver, RXTX unit. I'm looking into that now. Trying to see, I want to get another rig besides the one I have here going. So that's the story with what I've been spending a little time, and I was working on another rig I have, which is a Ubitix transceiver. I have a Allgrad 3, and it wasn't working right, and I was fixing it, and I got it going, and then stopped working again. And but one of the mixers stopped working, and I don't have the parts for the mixer, and I decided that put the thing away because even if I got it working right, it never worked really well. It was not a good design, so I didn't want to put a lot of time into it. I thought I had a backup rig, but I have to go and buy some parts that I don't have. I'm not going to go out and make a special order to get them. It's going to go back in the closet.
W2HFF NN9DD returning. Yeah, fine business. Good copy on all. QSB starting to hit, but, well, I shouldn't say starting. It's been hitting pretty hard for about the last hour, but a little up and down there. But I think 20's about done. So anyway, we'll keep moving on, see if we can put a few more in the log here. If not, we're going to shut off here in a few minutes. But, yeah, no, I've got my SDR up on YouTube right now. If you haven't had the opportunity to see what a Flex does, I've got 3 receivers open right now and just kind of got the thing set up looking fun. If you want to take a look at that, just do NN9DD on my YouTube page, and you can see this live and actually hear what you sound like. When I save it, you're about an hour and 44 minutes into it. Or you can just, in general, see what the Flex looks like. Because I think SDR is the future. It's just a matter of which one you want to buy. I mean, I think they all do a good job. It's just a matter of preference. So we'll say 73's Howard, and look for you again. W2HFF and N9DD.
Okay, NN9DD, W2HFF here. You're coming in 5.9 plus 10 dB at the moment. So 73, Mike, and we'll talk to you again down the road. W2HFF clear.
73. QRZ, anyone, anywhere. November 9, Delta Delta.
Charlie Whiskey, stroke 44.
Charlie Whiskey, stroke 4.
November 2, Charlie Whiskey, stroke 44.
November 2, Charlie Whiskey, stroke 44. Okay. I don't know what that is, but I'm about to find out, I think. Name here is Mike. We're located just south of Atlanta, Georgia. You got a very strong signal. 5.9 plus here into Atlanta. Over.
Okay, Mike, very good. NN9DB, Norway 2, Charlie Whiskey, stroke 44. Name is Steve. I'm working in a little club QSO party this weekend. A bunch of clubs in the area got together, and they're just having a friendly competition. I'm representing the South Jersey DX Association, SJDXA. And the 44 designates our 44th year of existence for the club. Did I give my name as Steve? I forgot. I'm just ready to go to bed, and I heard this signal is about 45 over 9. It's me. NN9DB, Nancy 2, Charlie Whiskey, stroke 44.
Very good. Yeah, we got you, and very good on the 4-4. Congratulations on 44 years. That's a good adventure, I guess, to be on, and sounds like a lot of fun. And yeah, one of the clubs around here is looking at doing the same thing with a couple clubs out of North and South Carolina, is just getting a little friendly competition going. I think it'd be good, but it's just hard to get people to participate sometimes. But congratulations on getting it going. But we'll say 73s, and look for you again. You're sounding good there. From up there in New Jersey, Steve. This is November 9, Delta Delta. Back to you. We'll let you put the ribbons on it. 73.
9 Delta Bravo, Nancy 2, Charlie Whiskey, stroke 44. Okay, Mike, very good. Before you go, what is it that you're melting my front end with?
Oh, it's a FlexRadio 6600. FlexRadio 6600, a G5RV up about 80 foot. It's the 102-foot long variety. And we're just leaning back to look at the amp. About 300 watts right now from an Ameritron amplifier. Over.
I'll tell you, you have one of those signals. I wish I had a recorder to put on it. Your audio is tremendous. The signal strength is ridiculous for running 300 watts to a RV. So I'll let you go before the band shuts down. Thanks a lot for the contest points, and take it easy. And then and oh, by the way, the home call is Kilo Zulu, KZ2I, NN9DB, N2CW, stroke 44.
All righty, thank you very much, and have fun with the rest of your QSO party. QRZ, November 9, Delta Delta, anyone, anywhere.
Kilowatt, Germany 3.
Whiskey 4 Kilo, Quebec Bravo.
3.
Okay, Kilowatt Germany 3, Kilowatt Germany 3 only, go.
Yeah, hello, this is Kilowatt Germany 3 Lima. My name is Adam. I'm in Western Pennsylvania, and you're 5 and 9 plus, sir. Over.
Thank you, Adam. KG3L, NN9DD. You're about a 58 here into Atlanta. The name is Mike. KG3L, you still there?
Hey, I'm still here. Excuse me, but I was listening to YouTube. I'm sorry.
Radio go.
Yeah, no, that gets a little confusing when you do that. The lag time makes you sound crazy. I used to do some radio work where you'd always have somebody talking in your ear, and that takes a little bit of getting used to listen to two things at once and not sound goofy. But no, you can hear what you sound like. You got a good sound there. So anyway, we're going to say 73s and keep rolling. But nice to make your acquaintance. KG3L, Adam up there in Pennsylvania, November 9, Delta Delta.
Hey, Mike 73, have a nice evening, have some fun. Sounds like you're having a lot of fun. 73.
73. The other station, go ahead.
Kilo Charlie 3, November Charlie Sierra.
November Charlie Sierra, stand by. The Kilo 8.
Thank you, sir. Kilo 8, Juliet Romeo Golf. The name is Richard, Columbus, Ohio. Brand new antenna, over.
Very good, Richard. You're sounding good. On the air there. I just had to send a message to somebody real quick. But you're sounding good. About 5'8" here into Atlanta. The name is Mike. Over.
QSL, Mike. QSL. Yeah, I won't hold you long. I just put up a GAT Eagle DX today, so you're my first contact on it. It's about 20 feet above ground level here in Columbus, Ohio. Watch, Mike. Appreciate the call return. November 9, Delta Delta, Kilo 8, Juliet Radio Golf. Richard, Columbus.
Alrighty, Richard, doing good there from Columbus. We'll say 73s and look for you again down the log. Okay, the station I had stand by. Go ahead.
This is Kilo Charlie 3, November Charlie Sierra. My name is Tim Tango India Mike. My QTH is Easton Echo Alpha Sam Tango Ocean Nancy, Pennsylvania on the Delaware River. Back to you.
Very good, Tim. You're sounding very good. Good signal. You're about 5'7" to 5'8" here into Atlanta. The name is Mike, and you're, like I said, sounding good. Over.
Okay, yeah, you sound good, Mike. You're 5x9 up there. Very good signal. I don't want to keep you. So I'll say good evening and thanks for coming back. KC3NCS. I'll be clear on your final.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much, and it's been my pleasure chatting with you, Tim. Everybody else, thank you for joining tonight. I do have to run. I'll probably be back on here in an hour or two, but got a phone call. I need to go take care of some stuff. 73s and good night. This is November 9, Delta Delta QRT.